Go ahead and roll down onto your back and hold on to the knees here. Gently pressing the knees into the hands as we also pull. So there's that nice little resistance, pushing and pulling a little bit, helping to lubricate, warm up our lower backs, spine and the hips. And then let's go ahead and bring the knees together, and we'll take a smaller circle with the knees around. And see if we can kind of feel that natural hollowing of the belly as we draw the knees in. And then as we make the circle a little bit larger, we can start to feel a nice little stretch around the back as it feels good for you. Around the low back, and then circle around the other direction again, starting smaller here. We can tune in and pay attention to those deeper muscles in the pelvic floor and in core. And gradually make this circle bigger, stretching out whatever feels good for you. And then let's go ahead and hold on to the shins or the ankles here for a moment. We'll just open up the hips and the low back, pressing down through our sacrum, encouraging that external rotation of the hips here. Gentle stretch of the inner thighs. And we'll bring the feet as wide apart as your mat about, and kind of wiggle the sits bones apart, kind of wiggle your lower back out a little bit. Bring the knees, or let the knees fall to one side. And hopefully the feet are far enough apart that you feel the stretch come down this the top of the thigh here, up into the hip flexor and the side waist. Couple of breaths here. Allowing yourself to settle into a nice full breath, and then bring the knees back up and let them fall over to the other side. Again, maintaining the feet apart here. Feel the stretch go down the other side. From the front of the leg and into the hip flexor and side waist. Again, this is also a really great one for those of us that sit a lot, to help stretch out that psoas that can be passively held in flexion for so long, can also cause issues if we're not balancing that out with this stretch or something similar to this. All right, then from here, we'll go ahead and wiggle the sits bones apart. I like to put my hands or fingers underneath the lower back here so you can actually feel that nice little space, and kind of acts as a cushion for your low back. And then you can also let the knees come in towards each other so they're leaning on each other for support here. This helps to release the hips and the low back a little more completely. If you have any low back issues there, you're welcome to stay here. Or you can also extend the legs out nice and long into a Shavasana pose for a few moments. We'll bring the left hand onto the heart space and the right hand on the belly. Just make sure that your shoulders, your elbows, arm bones are relaxed onto the ground here. And we'll just take a few moments closing down the eyes, allowing ourselves to settle in, dropping into this moment, dropping into the body. And begin to feel the weight of your body. Perhaps with each exhale, releasing that weight a little bit more into the earth. And feel your natural breath rise and fall. Perhaps it's become a little bit longer and smoother than usual. Or we're just working up to that. Very gradually and naturally begin to smooth out and lengthen those exhales. Also moving into that audible, a soft audible Ujjayi pranayama. So you can feel the vibration in the throat as you slightly narrow the base of the throat, as if you were trying to breathe through your throat with your mouth closed. And keeping that soft, but still audible. You feel the inhales naturally become a little more expansive, a little more full. With every exhale, letting go a little bit more into the earth. Feeling it support, feeling it hold you. Feeling the stability from below and within. As we continue to pay attention and observe our breath, our body, our spirit, gradually move towards stillness. Perhaps also observing the point of stillness at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale, known as kumbhaka. And as we gradually move towards this longer, smoother breath and towards our true nature and our natural state of being, perhaps also becoming a little more receptive to the teachings of our practice through our breath and our body, our spirit, our heart and soul. And perhaps at this time, revisiting or creating any new intentions that you may have that are heartfelt. Something that is truly important to you, to your heart and soul. And as we allow ourselves to continue to soften and become more receptive, perhaps repeating this mantra to ourselves. I am a student of my body. I am a student of the breath, the spirit. I am a student of life. And I am a child of the universe. And perhaps as we begin to see ourselves as children of the universe, that we can also have a little bit more love and kindness and compassion towards ourselves and one another. And from that place, slowly bringing the legs towards each other, stretching the arms overhead behind us. Let's stretch our whole body as we inhale, like you're so excited to get up this afternoon. Exhale and release the arms and shoulders. And then just walking the feet back up onto our mats here. Maybe even wrapping the arms around the legs. And give ourselves a nice big hug here. Some of us might feel the need to curl into a little ball, maybe curling your chin in towards the chest for a moment here, rounding our spines, or maybe just now laying the head back onto our mats, bringing the chin slightly in towards the throat. Feel the whole length of your spine from the back of the neck to your tail, root down into the earth. Stay here, another breath. Again, remembering this space that we are, this unconditional and infinite space of love that we are and that we're a part of. And then slowly from here, let's go ahead and roll over onto our sides and push ourselves up, nice and easy. We'll cross the legs here in a comfortable position, seated posture. You're welcome to sit on anything or find a chair or blanket if you need. Pulling the flesh out from underneath us. Go ahead and root down into our seat and just rest the hands onto the thighs or knees here. And feel your weight again settle into your seat, perhaps slightly leaning back just a little bit. Feel your shoulders stack above hips. Feel the heart space. The chest is broad and wide. Take a moment, a couple breaths here, observe what you feel. And then from there, let's go ahead and root down through the seat as we reach up through the arms. Inhale, palms come overhead to prayer. And then exhale, bring the hands back to the heart center. And deep, slow inhale, root down, reach up. And as we exhale, let's lower the right hand towards the earth and lengthen long through the left side. Root down through the seat as we come up and over, hips and shoulders stay square to the front. We're going to inhale from here, lengthen. And as we exhale, again, same thing, with the intent to root down through that opposite hip, especially, and reach up and over. Again, root down to reach up, inhale. And as we exhale, lengthening through that side. Inhale, roll the heart towards the sky. And then as we exhale, go ahead and sweep that arm forward, just kind of round through your upper back here in a way that feels good. Root down through those knees and the legs. And come sweep the other arm over to the left. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale again, sweeping around. And then inhale. Exhale here. We're going to inhale, slowly root down to reach up. And exhale, let's tilt your left ear towards the left shoulder, walking your right fingertips out. Growing nice and tall through both sides. Walking the fingertips ever out and maybe even slightly back. And then as we exhale, we'll gently turn the gaze downward, chin towards the throat a little bit. And let's go ahead and release the hands down onto the thighs and slowly let your chin come towards the throat and turn your head and gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale, chin in a little bit. And then inhale, lifting the heart, looking over the left shoulder. And exhale. From here, root down through both sits bones, reach up again, palms to prayer. Exhale, gently twist to your right arm behind you. Root down through the seat as we grow taller, inhaling. And I like to use the back arm like a kickstand to really make that spine, get the spine nice and long. And then exhale, looking over the right shoulder, but twisting again here from your gut, from your low belly. Another deep breath here. Exhale. And release from here. Let's go ahead and stretch the legs out in front of us and shake it out. Wiggle the knees, shake out the legs. Let's bring the opposite leg in front when you're ready. pulling the flesh out from underneath again, rooting down through the seat as we inhale, root to rise up. Exhale back to the heart center. And deep cleansing breaths. Inhale, reach up. And as we exhale, let's lower the left hand towards the ground first this time. Lengthen long through that side and then bending into the elbow or elbows. And then inhale, coming back up through center. Again, as we exhale, we root down through that opposite hip and stretch over. Or the same hip rather, inhale. And then exhale. To the side you're reaching away from, pressing that hip down. Inhale, rolling the heart towards the sky. We'll take a slight twist here. Exhale, we're going to round through the upper back and sweep the arms all the way over to the other side. Inhale here. Again, exhale, sweep. So I like to start with one arm, and then once I feel stable in my seat, then reach the other arm over. Inhaling here. We'll stay here as we exhale. Inhale, root down to lengthen long through the side, and exhale, tilt your right ear towards the right shoulder, growing even taller through both sides of your body, walking your left fingertips out away from you. Slightly ever out and slightly back. And again, maybe if you'd like to, you can turn the gaze down, chin in, stretching through the back of the neck a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and rest the hands again onto your thighs as you let the head come forward, chin in towards the throat. And then inhale, looking over the left shoulder, and then following your nose all the way up, inhaling a little more. Exhaling, coming all the way around. Back down. And then one more time, inhale, look over your right shoulder, following your nose all the way up, all the way around. And slowly in and down. Good. And then roll shoulders up by the ears. Inhale. Exhale. So take a nice inhale, root down, reach up to prayer. Again, exhale, we're going to twist over our left shoulder, this time left arm behind you, rooting down. So kind of draw that shoulder down and back and open the chest and lengthen the spine, inhaling. Again, exhaling as we twist. Inhale and press down through the legs, through the hips. Exhale, gentle twist. One more breath here. And so that kind of ringing out through the internal organs, not too much, not too little. And then release from here. Let's go ahead and actually walk the fingertips back behind us, roll the shoulders back, take a deep inhale, lift up through the heart center, arching up and back. And then as we exhale, just go ahead and walk it forward, fold a little bit. So I want you to root down through the sits bones and the hips, just gently opening up through that hip. You may feel this more on one side than the other, depending on which leg you have in front, which side might be tighter for you as well. I'll just take a couple breaths here to gently open that up. It's also a really great place to breathe into the back body. Start to breathe through those cobwebs up back there. Expand, creating space into the back body. And then slowly go ahead and walk it back in or back up. Again, shake it out a little bit. We're going to just switch one more time to the first side so we can get that stretch on the other side here. Because sometimes it's a little different depending on what leg you have. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, come onto fingertips, lift the sternum up, open the throat. And then exhale again. We're going to root down through those sits bones, really pressing back into our butts here. And then gently bowing forward. So it's not about how far you can go forward, but how rooted can you stay through those sits bones, stretching into the hips here. You can also put your hands or your fists underneath your forehead if you'd like to relax your neck and shoulders here. This is a great way to release the neck and the weight of the head towards the earth. Again, breathing into back body here. Big full breaths. And then slowly go to come back up. And once more, we're going to shake out the legs. This time we'll bring the hands into fists and give them a nice, give your legs a little massage, thump all around, thighs, the calves, shins, outer legs, inner thighs. It feels good here. And then bring the hands to the tops of the feet and drag the hands all the way up the legs. See if we can encourage that flow of energy to recycle, flowing up and out, helping us to work through any stagnancy or anything that may be stuck or held here. And then maybe sitting back onto the hands just for a moment, closing the eyes. And just notice what you notice, any changes or shifts in energy. You can tune into that subtle energy flow in the body, maybe through the legs or the hands here, especially. Breathe. And then let's go ahead and come onto our backs here and really shake it out. So we're going to lay down, legs and arms up in the air, and we're just going to shake and wiggle everything out. So helping to shake up also sort of confuse the body and the nervous system that can, in a sense, reset and create new patterns, new neural pathways, patterns that serve us. So helping our bodies to also release any unconscious holding or guarding, that we can, again, train our bodies and our minds in a way that serve us consciously. Shake it out, wiggle it out. Shaking is also said to help to release anything that may be stuck or any traumas that may be held in our bodies physically. All right, from here, let's go ahead and just bring the feet down, wide apart, and let the knees rest on each other again. And let your hands rest wherever they feel good. And just take a moment, notice if you'd like to stretch your legs out in Shavasana here too. Notice what you feel. Longer, smoother breaths. Maybe taking a moment to come back to your intention or our mantra. I'm a student of my body. I'm a student of the breath. I'm a student of life. I'm a child of the universe. And from that place again, we'll walk your feet back up and roll over onto your side, switch yourselves up. And then we'll swing the legs around. Come onto your hands and knees here. And actually, let's bring the big toes to touch. We'll sit back into the heels. So make sure you're comfortable back there, and then slowly begin to walk your hands out, maybe even up onto the fingertips here, stretching out through the outer shoulder and the outer arms here. And forehead perhaps resting onto the mat. So you can feel There's space between your legs here, and you can feel your belly balloon out into the thighs a little bit. You can feel your low back expand and balloon out, and sending fresh blood and oxygen and energy into the back body. Deep cleansing breaths. And from here, let's go ahead and slide the right arm underneath the left. So this is going to come into that nice little twist here, but it's going to mainly affect the mid to upper spine. So we're going to stay up on the left fingertips and bring your right shoulder, right ear to the ground. Keep the sit bones all the way back. It's a really gentle version of the twist. And again, deals with more the upper mid spine. Deep cleansing breaths into that area. Take one more breath here. And we're going to come back to center as we inhale up onto the fingertips. Exhale, let's bring the left arm underneath the right, still sitting back into the heels, left ear to the ground. And we can, if you want more, you can kind of wiggle that arm under a little more. Let's see if we can again keep the sit bones down and back. Keep that left shoulder grounded. Take a couple more deep breaths into that upper thoracic and cervical spine here. One more breath. From here, inhale, come back to the center. As we exhale, let's drag the hands back towards you, rounding through the spine, pulling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep the eyes closed as we stack tall. Take a moment. Breathe. Rooting down through the legs and the knees as we inhale, reach up, view overhead. As we exhale, we can bring the arms all the way around, open our hearts, and then bring the arms wide into like a V out in front of you again, but this time hips high, and see if we can bring our forehead or our chin to the ground in Anahata Asana, heart pose or puppy pose. Now here, you'll feel that suction in the low belly, kind of sucking in and upward. Try to relax your lower back and relax your neck here in a way that feels good. Breathe into your belly. Feel your belly again balloon out a little bit as you inhale. Soften through the shoulders and the chest. One more breath. As we exhale, drag the hands underneath the shoulders, round through your spine into cat. So protracting the shoulder blades all the way up to the ceiling, protracting away from each other. And then send the inner thighs up and back as we inhale, leading from the pelvis. Pelvic floor lifts in and up as we look up between the brows and calf. And then exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog, but we're going to keep the knees bent actually in bear. So we're not quite going to downward dog just yet, but the hips are high. You to externally rotate those shoulders, so turning them out, pressing, protracting the shoulder blades again, pressing the ears up, the shoulders up towards the ears, and then gently, slowly stretching the legs. You can widen the hands and feet apart here too, and walk it out, walk your dog a little bit, stretch it out however feels good for you. So for some of us, that might mean more emphasis on the shoulders or the chest, the legs, the hips, the calves. Just take your time, baby steps here into the stretch that is needed at the moment. All right, and then we'll just walk our way up to the top of our mat here when you're ready. So feet hip distance apart to start, toes slightly angled inward, heels slightly outward. We'll take a nice inhale, lengthen halfway, send the inner thighs up and back belly in, flat back, and exhale and deepen our fold. Let's root down through both feet as we inhale, root to rise up, palms to prayer. You can hook one thumb over top of the other, looking up, legs are strong. Exhale to prayer pose in front of the heart center. Namaste. Take a breath here for a moment. Just feel your feet rooted to the earth. Exhaling everything out. Let's inhale again. Reach up to Urdhva Hastasana. Hook the opposite thumb on top. Exhale. We're going to lift up through the sternum. Strong legs and glutes. One more breath. If we can look up between the brows, look up. And then exhale, come back through the heart center. We're going to bend the knees and bow forward fold. So through all that, any of your back bends, we want really strong legs and glutes, right? So really keep grounded through your legs and feet. I'm going to stay here another breath. Just let your body hang here. Soften the knees so we're not locking the knees out. On your next inhale, we'll lengthen the spine. As we exhale, let's go and step the left leg all the way back into deep lunge. Lower the left knee down, uncurl the toes. Just come onto your fingertips here and lengthen the spine. So the tendency here can be to kind of twist the hips a little bit. We want to hug the thighs towards each other just slightly while we sink the hips so that they stay nice and square. And we don't throw our spine off kilter here. We hug the thighs towards the midline, towards each other. One more breath, maybe looking up between the brows. As we exhale, curl the toes under, spread the fingers wide, step back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling externally, rotating those shoulders again, protracting them. Make the sides of your body long, exhaling here. Again, deep breaths. Feel free also to bend your knees here as much as you need to. One more breath, lengthening on the inhales. And then as we exhale, let's go ahead and come forward onto our knees. We're going to inhale, lift the inner thighs up and back. Just come to cow. Again, look up between the brows. Press into the finger pads as well. And exhale, come into cat. Round your spine, tuck the chin. Again, deep, slow inhale, inner thighs lift up and back. We're going to look up between the brows. And exhale, downward facing dog. So that can be an alternative to your chaturangas or your knees, chin, chest. If you need to back off a little bit, you could go to cat. You could also take child's pose instead of the vinyasa. Breathe. So again, we're actively pushing the ground away from us with our hands. And bend the knees as much as needed here. Then step that left foot forward when you're ready, between the hands. Lower the right knee down, uncurl the back toes. And we're going to, again here, come onto fingertips. And instead of sinking into one side or the side that we feel more loose, we're going to hug the thighs towards each other. And then sink down equally from both sides. It's a very subtle thing. But feel that your legs are somewhat active here as you're stretching. Looking up between the brows, your core is active here as we're hugging that midline. One more breath. And I'm not just talking about core in the abdominals, but all the muscles that help to stabilize and support our spine and our hips. Including the hips. We're going to lift the right knee off the ground, push off the back foot to come forward, bow, forward fold. Again, soften through the knees. Stay here for a couple breaths. We're finding a little bit more breath, a little bit more stillness in each of the postures, slowing down our practice a little more. We'll see what happens. Another breath here. It's going to root down through both feet again as we root to rise up. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, opposite thumb on top. And exhale, down to the heart center. Once again, deep inhale, root down, reach up, hook the other thumb. Exhale, we're going to root down through the feet, strong legs as we come into that upper back bend. So we're trying to lift the sternum up to the sky while we root into the earth through the feet. And exhale, let's come back to the heart center. Bow forward when you're ready. Fold. Staying here, inhaling. Exhaling. Soften the knees as much as you need to. So if you have any back issues here too, bend the knees a lot. Keep the back flat. Deep breaths. On your next inhale, let's lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the right leg back into a nice deep lunge. And from here, lower that right knee down, uncurl the toes. We're gonna hook the thumbs here, spread the fingers wide as we inhale. Root down, reach up, so you're gonna wiggle those arms back behind the ears. Exhale, hug the belly in. So again, we're gonna squeeze the thighs towards each other. Open the chest. Inhale here. So we exhale, we can release the arms and come into cactus. Bend the elbows out to the sides like goalposts. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, release the hand. We're gonna lift that back knee again off the ground, spread the fingers wide. Left leg back to downward facing dog. Long through the sides of your body, inhaling. Exhaling. And you have the opportunity to plug in through the hands and feet again each time. Exhale and lengthen the sides of your body. So every downward dog feels a little bit different. Inhaling, lengthening, lifting the hips a little higher away from the shoulders. Exhale, lower the knees. Now come all the way forward as we inhale. Exhale, elbows stay stacked above wrists, knees, chin, chest, and stay here. Squeeze those triceps and hold. Sucking the belly in, hips high. Inhale, we can lift the knees and then lower the hips. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Actually, we're going to come onto our elbows and forearms here into a Sphinx pose. Legs nice and long. Excuse me. Inhale, tailbone down towards the earth as we lift the belly in. Inhale, lengthening the spine again. Exhale, let's look over our shoulder, back towards the legs, keeping them strong. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, we're gonna look over the other shoulder. Relax. Legs long and strong again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl the belly, the chin towards the throat and navel towards spine as we press the tailbone towards the earth. Again, dealing with that upper spine, mid spine. Inhale, look up. As we exhale, let's bring the arms underneath you, so lay flat. Squeeze the triceps in, elbows stay stacked above wrists. We're going to inhale, press it up either onto the knees or you can come into full plank. Then exhale again, bend the knees here into your bear pose. And slowly stretching the legs out. In downward dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhaling, deepening. Doesn't mean that you're trying to bring your chest towards your thighs. It also means that you're protracting shoulder blades. So we're actually trying to lift the hips higher away from the shoulders and almost like you're rounding your shoulders a little bit. You're raising the shoulders up towards the ears. And you feel that hollow cave in belly. One more breath here. All right, go ahead and step your right leg forward, right foot forward. Between the hands, lower the knee. Uncurl the back toes. We're going to hook the other thumb in front here. Spread the fingers wide again as we inhale. Root down to lift the heart. Breathe. Hug the legs in towards each other. Shoulders down. Lift up through heart center. Inhaling here. Core is strong. Exhale. We let go and bend the elbows. Lift through chest. Again, hugging the thighs towards each other as we inhale. Lift up. Exhale. Hands down. We're going to lift the back knee off the ground and push off the back foot to come forward. Bow forward, fold again. Deep, slow breath. Soften through the knees. Hips high. Try to relax the upper body here. And the shoulders, the weight of the head heavy. Even if you have to bend those knees. Another breath. This time as we exhale, we're going to root down through feet. Again, inhale, press down as we root to rise up. Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Samasthiti. All right, from here, we're going to bring the heels and toes together to touch. Sit down in your imaginary chair. So actually, we're going to hook the thumbs just like we did earlier. Start with the first side. Let's say the right thumb in front. Knees back, spread fingers wide as we inhale, root down, reach up. I'm showing you a different angle here. Exhale, press down to your left foot to go up and over to your right. Hips, shoulders square. Inhale, root down through both feet, grow taller. Exhale, press into your right foot to come up and over to your left. And then from here, root down, inhale, like you're trying to pull your thumbs apart, lift the chest higher. And exhale, we're going to sweep, release the hands and sweep the arms behind you and release the fingers, Yoga Mudra. Stretch the shoulders, bend the knees more. Another deep, slow breath here. So we're sitting back in our chair. And then release the hands here when you're ready. Forward fold. Stay here for one more breath. Inhale, we'll lengthen the spine. And exhale, let's go and step it back into deep lunge. We're going to spin the left heel down, toes pointing out. And let's walk your right foot out a little bit, heel toe, heel toe. Hands to the hips, inhale to warrior one. So we want to get the hips square here, pressing into the outer edge of that back foot, lifting up through that inner arch. So if you need to adjust your footing so that you feel that your left foot's in the left lane, right foot's in the right lane, and we can get those hips, both hips pointing straight forward. We had headlights on your hip bones here. That tailbone again is dropping down. Press into that back foot strongly, into the outer edge, and then we can find a nice deep lunge here. Now feel free here if you want to inhale, root down, reach up. As we exhale, maybe sinking into that front leg a little bit more. Inhale if you'd like to, interlace the fingers behind the head, open up wide through the chest, lift the heart. Keep the belly lifted here. So the higher you lift your heart, you can also feel your low belly, your gut lift up even higher. One more breath. Exhaling here, release the arms. Send the, actually turn in that back leg here. Spread the fingers wide. We're going back to downward dog. Adho Mukha. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, deepening. Turn out from the shoulders. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Lift the hips higher away from the shoulders. Hollow belly. Sides of the body even longer. Inhaling, coming forward. So we exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, lengthen here. We're going to just break this down again. Exhale, elbows stay stacked above wrists. Hold it, knees, chin, chest. Squeeze and hold. Ashtanga Asana, hold it here. Another breath. So we inhale, we can lift the knees, lower the hips, shoulders back and down. Exhale. Inhale to cobra, legs long and strong. Press down through those legs and tailbone. Lift up through the heart and belly. Exhale. Go ahead and inhale, squeeze in. Press it up again, either into half plank or full plank. Exhale, bend the knees. Neutralize your downward, neutralize your spine before you come into downward dog. So as we're just coming out of that back bend, I want to kind of keep the spine neutral before we come into this flexion. Hips high. Deep cleansing breaths. Again, press into your hands and feet, plug in and lengthen the sides. Shoulders up. Exhaling here. Left leg towards the sky. Come up on your tippy toes first, actually. And keep your outer thigh and your pinky toe pointing down. So we're going to keep the three-legged dog square in your hips. Now notice, while you keep your standing leg really strong, your right leg, press into both hands equally. Notice if you tend to lean to one side or the other. And then exhale, side to chest with that heel high. Step forward between the hands. Spin your right heel down, toes out, and walk your left foot over to the left. You might even bring your right foot out to the right a little bit, and then bring your hands to the hips. I want you to feel that right hip bone come forward, that back hip forward. Pressing still, though, into the outer edge of that back foot, so you'll feel that stretch through the calves, even the ankle. For some of us, it might be really stretching our ankles there. We want to keep that, that inner arch of the foot lifted up. Hip square, and be careful that you're not twisting here, that you're not dropping too much. They're right in line with each other. They're level with each other, facing straight forward. And lunge into that front knee. Inhale, warrior one. You can reach the arms up. Feel the belly lift. Exhale, hands behind the head, interlace fingers. And then again, as we inhale, so you can lift the chest a little higher, the belly a little higher. As we exhale, we sink into the legs a little more. So there's this pulling in opposite directions. Inhale, lifting. At the same time, we're strong, sinking into the legs and hips. One more breath here. So we exhale, release the hands down. Turning that back leg here right away. Step that right foot all the way forward. Bow, forward fold. Uttanasana, stay here. Another deep breath. Inhale, root down through the feet. Again, inhale, root to rise up. Urdhva Hastasana. Hook the opposite thumb on top. Exhale, hands to the heart center. In prayer, Samastitihi. And then again, we're going to bring the heels and toes together. Sit the hips all the way back. Come onto fingertips. Hook the left thumb in front now. So again, we've got the hands here wide. So we sit back and down as we inhale, root down to reach up. As we exhale, see if you can bring the arms behind the ears a little bit. Shoulders down. Inhale, press into the feet. Exhale, come up and over to your left side first. Hips, shoulders to the front. Inhale, root down through feet, lift the heart. Exhale, press down through the left foot to go right. Strong legs, strong core. Again, deep inhale. When you're ready, come up. Lift the heart a little higher. Pull your thumbs. As we exhale, we're going to sweep the hands forward, release the thumbs, interlace the opposite forefinger and thumb on top. Bend the knees, stretch the shoulders. Deep cleansing breaths. Inhaling, maybe stretching the legs here if you like. Exhaling, release the hands down. Inhaling, let's lengthen the spine. And we'll exhale, step the right leg back into deep lunge. Big step back. We'll spin the right heel down, toes pointing out as we inhale, come up to warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Wiggle that left foot forward a little bit. We're gonna hunker down again. We're still pressing into the pinky toe edge of that back foot, and feel the inner thighs stretching long away from each other, the outer thighs plugging into hip sockets. I want to sort of release through the upper body a little bit here. We're going to keep the lower body nice and stable in our lunge, working those stabilizers, but we're going to reach forward and back here to sort of release through these side obliques in the side body and the torso. Stay with breath. Forward and back. Forward and back. Good. Now from here, see if you can circle those arms. As one arm comes forward, the other arm swims back, but the arms stay long and wide. Big wingspan. Stay with breath here. Let your torso follow your arms and your upper body here. Good. From here, we're going to come back to that warrior two. Feel the burn. Reach up. Left arm to the sky. Take deep inhale. Peaceful warrior. Stay here as we exhale. Breathe into that fire. Stoke that fire. One more breath. Stretch the left side of your body. As we exhale, we're going to come forearm to thigh. Turn in that back leg. Swing that right arm all the way down. Turn in the back leg. From here, pull your left butt cheek in and back. Left arm for the sky. So we want to keep this back knee lifted up using your core. And open your chest and twist towards the front leg, towards that left leg. Pull your left butt cheek in and back. Another breath here. As we exhale, we're gonna hop it forward. You can put your left hand to your sacrum here too, if that helps. Hop your right foot and your right hand forward. Push through your heel, come to warrior three. Now, see if we can use our core here. Suck the belly in to twist from your core over to the left again. And maybe even reach that left arm up if you like to your revolved Ardha Chandrasana, Vrita Ardha Chandrasana, or just stay here. And just roll your heart. Keep your right pinky toe pointing down. Push the heel away from the crown of the head and push the crown of the head forward away from the heel. Belly lifts. One more breath here. Exhale, let's go ahead and step it back. Deep lunge. Lower that right knee down. Inhale here into your low lunge. Again, we're hugging the hips towards each other a little bit. And then we exhale, stretch that front leg. Once more. Inhaling, coming forward, hips square. Exhale, stretch the front leg. Let's inhale here. Lift your back thigh bone forward. And then exhale. Step it back into your downward facing dog. Lift the back knee. Press into those hands and fingertips. Deep, slow breaths. Lengthen the sides of your body. Inhaling long. Exhaling, settling in. Let those heels become a little bit heavier as the hips lift a little higher. Inhaling, lift the hips higher first, actually. And then the heels are the last thing. Inhaling. Exhale, lower knees. Come forward, squeeze triceps in. Hold it here for 3. Deeply breathing. Squeeze those triceps, elbows above wrists. 2. And 1. Bring the hips down when you're ready. Roll the shoulders back, legs long and strong as we inhale to cobra. Shoulders down, tailbone down. Exhale, reverse that push-up. Squeeze it in. Again, we can come to bear pose first. And downward facing dog. Inhaling, lengthening both sides, long. Exhaling as we deepen. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, deepening. Lift the hips higher. Up on your tippy toes as we inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling. Again, outer thigh and pinky toe pointing down. Strong on your standing leg, on your left leg. Press into both hands equally. Inhale, shoulders are square. Exhale, thigh to chest, lift that heel high, and then step it forward between the hands. From here, we can come on to fingertips, spin your left heel down, toes out. Inhale to warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. So go ahead and stay here. I'm going to flip around for your viewpoint. Again, we're pressing into the outer edge of the back foot as we send the inner thighs long away from each other, stretching away. Outer thighs locking and plugging in. Breathe. Shoulders calm, chest is open. If you need to do a couple of releases, you're fine there. Reach forward and back. So again, focus on moving from your torso, from your waist. Get some movement through those ribs. Breathe. Front and back. Front and back. Lower body is strong and stable. Legs are strong and supporting you. From here, we're going to circle forward and back. Breathe. Again, let your torso move with your upper body and your arms. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come back to that warrior two to peaceful warrior as we inhale. Reverse your warrior here. Lengthen the right side of your body. Inner thighs stretching long. One more breath here. As we exhale, forearm to thigh, sweep that left arm around, turn that back leg in. So we're in a low lunge. Left arm underneath you. Right hand to the hip crease, pull that right butt cheek in and back. Right arm towards the sky, we open. So again, this twist is sort of wringing out your gut, squeezing your gut. Lift that back knee, deep breaths. Feel that burn. When you're ready, right hand to your sacrum, we're gonna push off the back foot and come forward into warrior three. Yes, your right leg is burning, I know it. I feel it too. Press down to rise, push through the heel and through the crown of the head, lift your hips squarely. So you want to feel like you're trying to lift your gut off of your thigh. Yeah, and keep that left hip pointing down, but not dropping. So we're not dumping into that hip. We inhale, lift the heart a little bit more so you can find that revolved twist. If you want to, you can also reach that right arm up. One more breath here. Exhale, step it back. Come into your low lunge. Panjanyasana. Inhale here. Exhale, stretch the front leg. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, stretch through the front leg. We're going to inhale, stay here, lengthen, lift that left thigh bone, that back thigh up and forward towards the front leg. And then we'll go ahead and lunge. From here, lift that back knee off the ground, step forward. And bow forward, fold. Stay here with breath. Take a few moments, notice what you notice. Breathing deeply. This is also a good time to take a little malasana if you're feeling those inner thighs a little bit. Walk your feet about a little wider than hip distance with the toes slightly pointing out. You see you can drop the hips down. You can adjust your feet here as you need to. You can also put something underneath your heels like a folded blanket or a rolled up towel or something. We press the elbows into the inner knees to help open, externally rotate those hips. Stretch those inner thighs. And let's take a couple breaths here. We can do some, your Kegel practice here, work on Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha as you breathe. You could also, if you want to open up through the heart center, we can bring one arm out pressing against the inner leg, and then open up to the other side. Open heart space towards the sky. Same thing on the other side. If you do to one side, make sure you do the other. Open, lengthen through the sides of your body, lift through the heart center. Exhale. If you need a little bit of a quiet moment, rounding here, curling through your upper spine here. Curling in on yourself a little bit, couple deep breaths. From here, we're gonna slowly lift the hips, toes forward, heels out. Now forward fold. Slow, deep breaths. And let's go ahead and step this out a little wider. So you can stay facing forward here, or you can turn on your mat if you want to be on your mat wide. We're going to bring your feet wide apart. And then we're just going to do a turning of the toes to one side, lunge halfway. Back through center, toes forward. Turn the other toes out halfway. And toes forward. Turn the toes out one more time. You can go halfway, or this time come all the way down to your skandasana. Stretching out through those inner thighs here. Couple breaths. And then back through center, toes forward. Turn your other toes out halfway or all the way into your skandasana. Toes lift up towards the sky, pressing into that inner thigh to open the hips. Stretching inner thighs, adductors here. And back through center. Let's bring toes forward, heels out. Let's open, so keeping your hips right in between your feet in your Prasarita Padottanasana, your wide-legged forward fold, standing forward fold. We're gonna reach the arms out wide and let your shoulders and head drop down. So we get this nice stretch through the upper, through the shoulders and the chest at the same time as the legs. And a nice little restorative inversion here, deep breaths. And just allowing breath and energy to flow. Making sure we don't lock any parts of any of our joints. Keep the joints soft and supple, the knees soft. And slowly coming back to center. Come up onto your fingertips, flat back. Let's bring one hand forward. Slowly bring the other hand back either to the sacrum. Now keep your hips facing forward and then just suck your belly in to find your twist coming from your core again here. You can reach up here if you like. And then come over to the opposite leg. Over to the opposite leg and fold. Now if you want a stretch through the shoulder and really have some twist here, you can keep that other arm forward while you stretch to that other leg. Breathe. So this kind of helps to stretch through the front of the shoulder and the chest a little bit. So you want to keep that other arm out. Press down through both feet equally. Hips center between both feet equally. And let's come back into center here when you're ready. The other hand underneath you. And hand to the sacrum. Again, hips are pointing straight forward and are equal. We feel the twist from your core, from your gut, low down at the base of the spine. And then if you like, you can reach up, open the chest. Another breath here. Exhale again. We can bring that other arm to stretch. Both arms over to the opposite foot. You can also take that top arm all the way over top to stretch through the shoulder and the chest here, the front of the shoulder. around the armpit. You can look up underneath the armpit as well to complete the twist. Deep cleansing breaths. Very nice. From here, we'll go ahead and release. Come back through center. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling. Let's bring the heel toe back to center. Now, if you've moved to the side, go ahead and come back to the top of your mat. Fold. Forward fold. We're going to bring heels and toes to touch. Sink the knees back and the hips back into Utkatasana chair pose. Now, if the arms up here don't feel good for your back for any reason, bring the hands to the heart center and really, really focus. Either way, really focus on sucking your gut and your belly in and up to support the back. Push the knees and the butt back as far as we can. Deep breaths. Now you can also take a cactus pose here too. Like if you want your chest to lift up and be open, but the shoulders don't want you to do that, we can bend the elbows into a goalpost, or again, hands to heart. Scooping that belly in. Some deep breaths here. Keep that back flat. Knees back, butt back. Another deep breath. Exhale, deepen your fold, forward fold. Stay here in Uttanasana. Couple breaths. And stillness. Rooting down through both feet as we inhale to rise up. Palms together to press. Hook the thumb. Exhale, hands to the heart. We can unhook the thumb here at the heart center. Root down through feet. Inhale, reach up. Bird Bahasana, hook the other thumb. Exhale, let's go and bow forward fold. And inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, we're going to step back into plank pose this time. Shoulders stack above wrists. Tailbone down. Inhale, from here we can come forward onto the tippy toes. Exhale, lower halfway, elbows stay above wrists. Hold it, and then release down. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, cobra. Tail down, lift through the heart. Stay here as we exhale. Stay strong legs, strong core. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, let's reverse that push up. Reverse, inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, or we can come to that bear pose first. Another deep breath here. So from here we inhale, let's bring the left leg towards the sky. Three-leg dog, we're gonna open that hip this time. Bend the left knee, stacking left knee above the right hip. Now again, as we stay strong on the standing leg, pay attention to your hands and your shoulders. Equally pressing away from the ground and equally forward. Shoulders are staying square to the front. Left leg, inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, left knee towards the left shoulder. Keep your core center. Keep your core strong. Left foot steps forward between the hands. From here, bend that back knee down. Root down to rise up into your high crescent lunge. Feet really strong again. Reach, rooting into the earth. Take your next breath here. As we exhale, we're going to press down through both feet to rise. Inhale, come down into low lunge, or hovering that knee above the ground. Exhale. One more time as we inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to come forward with a flat back. Lift the belly, lift the back knee up, and then sweep the arms behind you like wings, squeezing the back of those arms, those triceps. Staying here. Lift your belly away from the thigh, so feel it pull in and up, supporting you. Right arm comes underneath the left, crossing. You can hug yourself here. Hug yourself, stretch your shoulders, or bring your hands to eagle. So palms together. Now reaching your fingertips away from you, stretching those outer shoulders. Another deep breath here. Exhale, release the arms down. Lower that left knee down, uncurl the toes. We'll inhale, lift that back knee off the ground. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift the back knee, maybe take your fingertips off the ground. Test your balance, lower. So your toes are pointed in the back. Inhale, lift, you're pressing into the top of the foot. Maybe you let go again. Exhale, lower. From here, we're gonna stretch the front leg out. Wiggle that foot forward. Right thigh bone comes up and forward towards it. Couple breaths here. Lengthening through the spine on the inhales. Softening, hinging forward from the hips on the exhales. Keeping back flat. Remember, you can always bend this left knee as much as you need to back off. Listening to your body. Be a student of the body, student of the breath. It's always something to learn. Another deep breath here, lengthening. And as we exhale, lunging forward, we're going to bring the back foot forward. You can stay here, or maybe you can reach back with your left hand for that heel. Just stretch through the quadriceps a little bit. Now, as you pull the foot towards your buttocks, pull your legs towards each other, tailbone down. And you'll feel that stretch in the quads more deeply while keeping integrity through your core and your hips here. Another breath. You can also take this into a twist if you want to look back at it. Towards that front leg, all the way to the back. And then release. From here, we're going to push off the back foot. To come forward, bring your knee to knee. So right knee right beside your left knee and squeeze, flex that foot. Squeeze and flex. Now press down into that standing leg, hands to the heart. You can also put your foot down if you need to. And then bring your left knee, as we stand tall, bring your left knee in line with your hip. Left hand to the outside of the knee, right hand to the sacrum. Now keep your butt pressing back and your belly lifting up, sucking in. So we've got a neutral spine here. We're not rounding or tucking under. We're actually sticking the butt back and belly up into our neutral spine. Reaching the right arm behind. Maybe find a gazing point. Keep your eyes steady and breath steady. Slow, deep breaths here. If and when you feel ready from here, we're going to just take that foot, flex that front foot over top of the left thigh, and then sit your butt back and your hips back, your knee back. Yeah? I'm try to change the angle there. And then sit down equally on both sides and back equally on both sides. Feel that suction and lift in your gut, in your belly here. Feel that deep stretch in your outer hips. So again, not about how low we can go. If you're not feeling anything here, then of course fold more deeply. But a lot of times when we see those people completely folded over, they may be compensating somewhere else. Deep breaths. I'm not just talking egoically either, but in the body. Our body finds the easiest way. If we want to do something, we try to make it do it. It's going to find the easiest way to do it. It may not be safe. Another deep breath here. Ooh, exhale, right foot over top of the left. Right arm in front of the left. Take a deep inhale, reach up. Exhale up and over to the side. Stretch out through the thoracic spine. Inhale, exhale up and over. Root down through both feet. Inhale, exhale over. Just bow forward, fold. Couple breaths here. All right, great. We've made it. We've just got one more side to go. We've made it to our hip opener. Release the legs, fold, and lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale. We're just going to go straight back into our plank pose again here. Inhale, up onto the tippy toes, tailbone down. Exhale, elbows stay above wrist, hold it. Release. Let's bring the arms back behind you this time. Palms can come down. You could also take a Shalabhasana or Dhanurasana bow pose here too. Lots of different variations, but we're just going to keep it nice and easy. Press into the tops of the hands and the tops of the feet. Take a nice deep, slow breath here. Your Shalabhasana would be your interlacing of the fingers behind. The Dhanurasana would be holding the feet. Take one more deep breath. Exhale, hands underneath you, squeeze the triceps in. We press it up, plank pose, and downward facing dog. We can go through that bear if you like. Deep breaths here. One more side to go, right leg up as we inhale, open the hip. Exhale, we bend that right knee, stacking. So again, we gently let the heel become heavy, but now pay attention to the shoulders here. So as we lift the hips high away from the shoulders, feel your shoulders are equal on both sides. Equal weight in both hands. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee towards your right shoulder. Squeeze, lift your hips forward, and then step that right foot forward between your hands. Bend that back knee, root down through both feet as we inhale, rise up. Hips are heavy. Exhale. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, we press down through both feet. Inhale, sink heavy, lift the heart. Exhale, press it down. Inhale again. High crescent lunge, hovering that back knee. Exhale, halfway forward. We're gonna lift the belly, lift the back knee up. Squeeze the triceps behind you, bow the head. Hug that right butt cheek in and back. Don't let it poke out. Breathe here. You can stay here squeezing the back of those arms. Again, keep your belly off your thigh, use your core. Left arm can come underneath the right here if you want to give yourself a hug and stretch your upper back. Or we can bring your hands together to eagle and fingertips forward, away from the shoulders to stretch the shoulders. Deep breaths. One more here, stay strong. Exhale, release the hands, release the knee, uncurl the toes. Inhale, lift the back knee up. Exhale, release. So we're pressing into the top of the foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift again. If you want to test your balance, bring your hands off the floor. And then release. Some glutes there. Reach the right leg forward. Left thigh bone, that back thigh comes up and forward like you're coming into the splits here. Again, keeping those hips square to the front. Keeping the integrity of the spine. Bending into that right knee as much as we need to. And be open to listening and learning here. Remembering that every part of the journey is there for a reason. And wherever you are in this journey is exactly where you need to be at the moment. Trusting that. And once you can trust in that, you can be free. Another deep breath here, lengthen. And as we exhale, we'll lunge forward. We're going to go ahead and bring that back foot towards us again here. You can stay here or reach back with your right hand. So we're twisting towards the front thigh. And then pull the heel towards you, tailbone down. At the same time, you're lifting your belly away from the ground and hugging the thighs towards each other. Deep breaths. If you can grab the foot, you can grab the foot. You can also roll your heart toward the sky. Do what feels good for your body. And then release that when you're ready. Pressing down into your right foot. Left knee meets the right knee, side by side. Squeeze the knees together. Flex that left foot. Now hands to the heart. You can slowly begin to stretch up, or you can put that foot down first. Left knee. Left knee comes up here. Root down. We're going to hold the outside of that left knee. Keep it in line with the hip. Now push your butt back and suck your belly up. Butt back a little bit, belly up. We don't want to stick the butt out, but just get that neutral spine. So it feels like you're sticking it out, but you're not. Lifting up. Left arm behind you. Maybe follow it with your gaze. So we're encouraging, again, that twist from your core and through the thoracic spine here, mostly. One more breath. Exhale when you're ready, left foot over top of the right thigh. So here we go again, flex that foot a lot, knees back, or knee back and butt back, hips back equally. Sit down and back, hands to the heart. Gaze is slightly forward, something that's not going to move on you. Find stillness here. Your drishti. Steady your eyes, steady your breath. And just when your mind wants to give out, take another deep breath. Trust in your breath. Let your breath carry you through. One more deep breath. When you're ready, crossing the left foot over top of the right. Left arm in front of the right, left hand, inhale, lengthen. So your palms are also together here too. I don't know if you can see that, lengthen. Exhale, come up and over to one side. It's like I dream of genie pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, up and over to the other side. Pressing through both feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, now release the hands. Come all the way down. Deep, slow breaths. Hold. Releasing the legs there and crossing them. Hold forward. Let's take another deep breath here. Find stillness. All right, so whenever you're ready, sitting down into your chair again. This time, let your knees come out as we bring the bottom all the way down. Come to sit however you can. Roll it down on your backs. Feet right underneath you. Knees stacked above the ankles. We're going to just lift the hips here nice and high. Interlace the fingers underneath. Roll the shoulders back. Take some deep, slow breaths. Let your belly rise and fall. Plugging into all parts of your feet, all 10 toes. And let your breath do the work here. So the effort comes in to lengthen and expand the breath even more, to empty out even more slowly and completely. So observing this beautiful giving and receiving, this reciprocity with life force, with breath, with Mother Nature, Earth. One more breath here. Exhale, if you like, you can sit on top of your hands and uncurl the shoulders. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, knees out. Supta Baddha Konasana. Actually, today we're going to fold the legs in together first. Bring your butt over to the right side of your mat, or the right edge. Bring your knees up and over to the left side, Open up your right arm, turning your gaze over the right shoulder. So here we want to make sure we're stacked and the pelvis is congruent. It's going to make this twist a little more challenging. It's okay, breathe through it. So we can really see what's needed in our twist, not what our body habitually likes to go back to. But when we're really in a stacked position here with our hips are truly square. You can feel where we're most tight, where we need the breath. If you'd like to here, we didn't get to extend that leg in the standing balance twist, but if you want to extend that top leg out, hold the big toe or the outer edge of the foot here, or the ankle or the calves underneath, wherever you can hold. Gently stretch that right leg out, or that top leg out, and now pull the hips down away from the shoulders. Belly lifts, and you can feel that nice big stretch go all the way down the outside of the hip and leg. One more breath here. Releasing. From here, we're going to go ahead and let that leg swing down. Bring your feet down, knees up. Bring your butt back to the center of your mat in neutral spine. Take a moment. And then let's bring our bottoms, both butt cheeks over to the left side edge of the mat and both knees up and over to the right side. Open up through your left arm, turning the gaze over the left shoulder. Again, keep that left hip going forward, away from the twist, so the hips stay stacked and you can really feel, where you need the stretch here and the breath. Sending the breath to the bottom of the lungs, the rib cage, chest, the shoulders. And again, if you'd like to add that little extension of that top leg, holding the foot or the calves under the leg, we're going to now press the hips down away from the shoulders. Really feel that stretch. Deep, cleansing, nourishing breaths. Feel that your breath has got you. Mother Earth, Father Sky, the universe has got you. Safe and supported, infinitely, unconditionally loved. Always here for you. Release the legs, coming back through center. Again, we put the feet down, bring the butt back to the middle of the mat. Let's go ahead and slide the hands underneath the lower back, wiggle the lower back a little bit onto those hands. And stretch the legs out here, either in Shavasana. You can also wiggle your shoulders. If you have any residual tightness, in fact, I'm feeling the curl up here, rounding through your spine. If you're feeling that too, try it. Tucking the chin, just rounding your back as the counter pose for all those heart openers and twists. One more breath here, stretching all through. And then exhale. Again, wiggle the sits bones apart. You can splay out into Shavasana. Another nice option that we've been doing here is with you could take your sofa, your chair, or legs up on the wall, just putting your legs up onto something so that they're elevated, resting the heart, the mind, the spirit, in a restorative inversion. Can be really healing and great for those of us that may have sleep issues. Helps us to slow down and quiet the mind even more. Coming into your final resting, relaxation, whatever that may be for you today, making yourself as comfortable and warm as possible, and allowing yourself to settle there. Again, finding stillness, feeling that deep peace and stillness that you are. Being that space of infinite and unconditional love that you are, and that you're a part of. And trusting in that as we completely let go and let be. Knowing everything that we need, we already have. And all is coming. All is on its way. Let go and let be. Just be. Turn off the mind. Let go of any holding. go of any judging. Deep in the exhales, letting go. Take some deep cleansing inhale. Emptying slowly and completely out. Feel free to stay here in stillness and meditation as long as you like. Perhaps if and when you feel ready, gently awakening fingertips, maybe toes. Slowly walking the feet back up onto the ground and rolling onto your right side into a fetal position, right arm as a pillow under your head. And take a couple of slow, deep breaths here. Feel the support and stability. Your eyes close on your next exhale, pressing into your left palm to rise. And keeping your gaze inward as we find a nice, tall, and comfortable seat. Take a few moments here, observe what you feel as you breathe. And joining the hands together by the heart center in Anjali Mudra. Once again, lifting the heart slightly up to the hands as we bow the head in towards the heart. With deep cleansing and nourishing breaths. Listening deeply. Feeling our practice and our intentions with gratitude. And bowing humbly to the light and the teacher that dwells within each and every one. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.